Welcome to the Bad Movie Night podcast, covering the worst movies you've never seen. We hope you enjoy listening to Bad Movie Night podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bad Movie Night Podcast. My name is Chris, and tonight we are talking about Warlock, the Armageddon.
I welcome my lord!
Warlock, the Armageddon.
Yes.
Yes.
We're back, guys. We are back, and yet not completely here, are we? We are missing one. His name is Spiv. He looks kind of like Julian Sands in a way. If you were like semi going blind and he saw you out of the corner of your eye, you're like, is that Julian Sands? And we would
He's
say
like
no.
a freshly birthed Warlock Julian Sands.
and
like he just came out of that goo sack.
But he is not Julian Sands, and he is not here tonight because
He's
having dinner. He's having dinner with friends. He's hiking. And
he might be
hiking for dinner.
This is the thing. This is the problem why I bring this up on the show, because right before the show started, I got a little taste of it. And what the taste is that Aaron now works for Spiv. Basically, is under
I don't work
Spiv.
for
Spiv is like his
No.
boss. He has to kiss his ass
He does
straight
not.
to ass town all the time. No matter what, you defended Spiv so hard. You're like, oh, he's allowed to have dinner with friends. He's allowed to do it. What's good to have dinner with friends? Like, because we fucking had the podcast scheduled.
All right, to be clear.
What's that on your nose, and why does it look so brown? Like it's covered in Spiv's brownness.
What?
I
mean, we do know it's podcast night.
I'm not sure.
I'm just saying,
but-
if I knew it was podcast
It is
night, I
sacred.
certainly wouldn't plan a get together with friends.
Are you guys free on Wednesday?
No.
I've got the
Did you ask if I was free on Wednesday? No, I'm not free. I have plans.
It sounds
That's
like
because you guys value each other and you value this thing that we do.
And
Well,
Spit
yeah.
doesn't?
It doesn't value this. This is just like, well, if I have nothing better to do, I guess I'll
Yeah.
do this.
He's got to work on that.
So why did you defend him so hard?
When did I defend him? I just said he
Dude,
has
come
dinner
on.
with
You
his
guys saw
friends.
it.
Quit simping!
You saw
You're
you simp
simping
for Spiv.
Spiv.
Simp for Spiv. Simp for Spiv. That's your name. Hashtag simp for Spiv. Put it in the comments. Everybody knows. Spiv might show up later. He's got a little thing going on, but he might show up later. We'll see. I would like his opinion on Warlock too.
I
Armageddon.
think this is a movie that he would love, so I hope
Yeah.
he
You
think he
comes
watched
and
it?
tells us what he
No,
thinks
he didn't
about
watch it.
I did get his opinion today, but I'm
No,
not going
really?
to because
No.
he might come on.
I
Okay.
hope he does. I hope he does.
We'll see.
We'll see. Only time will tell, as they say in places. But before we can do anything about that, we first have to tell you what Warlock the Armageddon is about. AJ, would you tell me what Warlock the Armageddon is about?
The evil Warlock has been birthed.
I live again.
And,
Hello, Mother.
and he's determined to unleash the devil.
My bosa, my lord.
Has anybody
He's
seen my
seen a
stones?
set of mystical runestones.
Give me back my stones.
But an order of aging druids stand in his way.
I got me a shotgun.
My hip.
Will they prevail? Find out in the 1993 horror classic that is Warlock, the Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Because you saw, what's this guy's name? Schlong. What's his name? Julian Sands.
Yeah,
Julian Sands.
Long?
Schlong.
R.I.P.
Snow Piper. but
That's a medical term, Aaron. It stands for PP.
we are gonna watch. We are gonna watch the Piper at some point, right?
Why does that make me laugh?
What's the
so
Piper?
much?
The one about the Pied Piper that plays the flute and people get murdered by him.
AJ, we'll watch that fucking right now. Let's end
It's
this
Julian,
shit and go
it's
watch
Julian
that.
Sands' last movie. It's his last film.
What? That sounds amazing.
I know. We watched the trailer.
All right, that's what we'll do if
Yes.
it lands
Fingernails.
on.
No. We gotta.
Fingernails.
We might have to watch that Ghost Planet movie next week.
Ghost Planet.
Ghost Planet. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
what
are you
that's
talking
true.
about?
Philip Cook has emailed me twice today, and I didn't get a chance to respond.
Twice.
No,
And
are
the
you
second
waiting
email,
for?
That would be
the second
great.
email
Get
felt a
him
little
on the
aggressive.
podcast.
He
What are
says,
you waiting
"Really?"
for?
Question mark. Gathering the troops. Period. The interview, all in caps. Interview, all in caps with a question.
He's
love this guy.
excited.
It's
He's
great.
excited. No,
All right,
let's
let's-
And he
get
was gonna
him
come on the show?
I'm gonna
Yes.
try. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
give him a shot. Yeah.
That's
Let's do
awesome. That'd be so cool.
uh,
Can we just
we're
make him
gonna
a regular person on the show?
Yeah,
Since
I'll quit.
Spiv's not really
No,
showing
Spiv's
up.
not here. Spiv's never here. Yeah.
Spiv is gone.
We can't call him
Wait.
Spiv, but what can we call
What
him
if
that's like
Spiv is
similar?
Philip Cook?
Oh
Bill.
We
my.
call him
He's gonna
Pungo,
rip
right?
that face off.
Let's call him
and-
Philv. It'll be like Spiv, but a little different.
Phil?
Philv. Phil. And you had a V at the end, Aaron.
I can't even say that. Phil.
Filthy.
Philv. Anyways, that was a great little premise whole section, AJ. I really enjoyed
Thank
that.
you. I tried.
And now it's time to move on to the history hole and get
Yes,
a
it
little
is.
context for the movie.
Maybe it
and the
is.
year it was released.
Possibly.
Or
not.
is it?
I just
Find out.
don't understand why you guys can't wait till I'm done with my spiel before you do your spiel.
All right, that's the history. Oh, roll that Beetleville beat.
Oh my
Beautiful.
God.
Whoa.
What is happening here?
Is that
What this?
Kenny?
You kill Kenny, you bastard.
You satanic bastard.
Well, that's really good, Aaron. I like your
was
your
good.
eyes in
Thank
there and
you.
everything. Yeah.
Thank you. I tried. I
Yeah.
worked really hard on this. Not really, but I hope you like it. So, Warlock 2, The Armageddon. This movie had a release date. Well, actually, it had several release dates because it was released in all sorts of different places. But it was released in Dayton, Ohio first.
Whoa. Watch
On
out.
February 26th, 1993, which was Chris's 8th
Oh
birthday?
shit, that's my birthday. When was
Oh
it?
my
1980.
gosh.
What?
Really?
1980.
93.
Happy
I was 5.
birthday.
So
No, you weren't, you
You were
asshole.
born in 88.
I was 8.
Carry the one.
Yeah, I did
God
rough in the
damn it.
math, but I was just took a shot in the dark.
Can I get one of those vans to pick him up and fix him? All right, we had some movies that month. We had Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey.
Is that the first one?
So sad.
So sad.
Why does everybody say it's sad? Oh, they all make it home.
I know, but
know,
it makes
but
you cry.
I know,
They're in
but
peril.
I didn't
yeah,
cry
it's-
once.
they're- Yeah,
I didn't
it's-
fucking
didn't
Chris,
cry.
you're dead
You're stunted.
inside.
they got
You're
porcupine quills.
You were only 5. What could you expect?
Maybe the harsh cruelty of the real world has dulled my
You
soul.
were 8.
Whatever. You don't know what happened. I don't know.
Okay, National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, Dead Alive.
Okay.
You get that,
Okay.
you get that lawnmower
Hey.
action. Groundhog Day,
You're for movies.
Army of Darkness, and Falling Down. I want to watch
Oh,
that. I haven't seen that in a very long
such a
time.
great movie.
That was a classic.
Michael Douglas
Yeah.
Yeah,
is so good in it.
so good.
So is Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall's in that too. Yes. So this movie had an estimated budget of $3 million. It grossed approximately $4 million worldwide. Opening weekend was 1.7 million, so that's pretty solid
that's
for a
good.
horror movie.
Wow.
Seemingly somewhat low budget, although it doesn't always feel that way. Okay, so our director for this was Anthony Hickox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know him from anything?
Oh yeah. Waxwork and Waxwork 2.
Oh,
That's
it is.
correct. That's correct. Hellraiser 2 or 3 rather, Hell on Earth, right?
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
But do you know of any of his other films?
What are some of his other
Need
movies?
to watch more of his stuff because I
Whoa.
like his stuff. I like his
I
stuff.
thought we-
No,
seen
no,
some.
put it back. Sundown, the Vampire in Retreat.
What? That looks cool.
Ooh.
Yes, so this sounds so stupid.
Okay.
Right up our alley.
Yes, reclusive vampires lounge in a lonely American town. They wear sun cream to protect themselves. A descendant of Van Helsing arrives with hilarious consequences.
Okay.
Nice.
It sounds
It,
cool.
it looks pretty silly. It's
Yeah.
got David Carradine in it and Bruce Campbell.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah,
No,
and
he-
Emmett Walsh.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
a Walsh.
We need to put that on the wheel.
Yeah, somebody
we
make
do.
that their wheel choice, please.
All right.
But no one's gonna remember, and no one's never gonna get on.
I'm gonna
there.
leave it up. I'll leave it up
Sean.
and I'll put him in.
Sean.
there.
Sean.
Do it.
Write it down.
Josh.
Sean.
Right up on the notepad.
Sean. Okay, so we also have a couple other movies that this guy. I just found it. Oh fuck, wrong one again. Sounded so cool. We have Stormcatcher with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
No, that looks great.
That looks cool. We have
Stormcatcher.
That looks
Prince
great.
Valiant.
gonna be
It's his
awful.
stupid face in a
That's gonna be
jet.
awful.
That looks terrible. What are you
That looks
talking about?
No,
amazing.
I've never heard of
gonna
it
be
before.
fucking
So it was
awful.
like a jet, Dolph Lundgren, and it's directed by Anthony Hickok. That
Dolph
sounds
Lundgren
amazing.
voices a jet. No, I don't know.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
I'm trying to find that one because I have the tab open still. He, a renegade general, plots to bomb Washington using a new top secret jet called the Stormcatcher. The only trouble is only one man, Dolph Lundgren, is capable of flying it.
When did this come out?
1999.
I don't want to see him fly a jet. I want to see him
Wow.
punch someone.
I'm sure he's
I'm
going
sure
to.
he'll punch
In a
people.
jet.
I'm sure
In a
he'll
jet?
punch people.
He punches
Yes.
them with a jet. He just
Yeah. He
picks it up.
punches them with a
I'm only
jet.
interested if he
Smacks
builds the
him.
jet and then flies it.
Okay, now that sounds pretty cool too.
Jet hands.
It's- we have this Prince Valiant, which looks absolutely terrible.
That I've heard of.
Yeah, it does.
Invasion of privacy.
I've seen
That
that.
looks dark.
Yeah, it looks really fucking dark.
Naomi Campbell?
Yeah.
Is that Jared Leto?
Jared Leto? No.
I have
no.
terrible eyesight.
Jonathan Sheesh. Millie Avatal, Naomi Campbell, and David Keith.
Oh, David Keith.
David Keith, yeah.
Yeah. Terror is in the eye of the beholder.
Yep, never heard of it.
Yep. A mentally unbalanced man kidnaps the woman carrying his child to prevent her from having an abortion.
Jesus. AJ, this sounds like it's right up your alley.
Texas 2024.
What?
What?
Okay, sorry. There was a couple others I wanted to do too because they seem pretty cool. We have Payback. Oscar
but not
tells
Mel
a
Gibson.
dying prisoner that he will take revenge on the sadistic guard who killed him. In exchange, Oscar is told of a stash of money. He eventually is released from prison where he goes to get revenge. He gets sidetracked by the now handicapped guard. I'm not going to read the rest because it sounds ridiculous.
I have seen that cover before.
Why is it like they're going to dance? It looks like
It's
a
got
dancing
C. Thomas Howell, Chris.
Oh,
movie. I love that guy. We
I
should
hope
put
there's
that on
some
there.
sweet dance sequences.
So we're going to have to check that one out.
Dance sequences?
Yeah,
What?
I just said that. To me, it looks like it's a movie.
I
about
know.
dancing.
That's what I'm hoping.
It's dancing, it's on.
And AJ
like
just went with
Flashdance.
it. We watched that, Aaron.
Oh,
clips?
this. We definitely have to watch this.
We
didn't
did a
watch full
podcast
clips.
episode on it already, guys.
Oh, full
No, we
clips.
did not.
AJ,
No, I think you guys did. I think you guys did.
I don't remember this shit.
I wasn't a
Who was
part of
in
it,
that?
though.
Who's in that?
No, we didn't.
Mario Van Peebles.
Oh,
We didn't
what is
watch
it about,
this.
Chris?
yes, we did, Aaron.
Was that on a
Werewolf
boat?
Cops.
It's Werewolf Cops.
We fucking
Oh.
watched it.
Did we watch
I don't
this?
know. I don't know. I don't.
We should
recognize
watch
the
it
cover.
again.
I don't
Yes.
recognize the cover.
Should watch it again. And finally, just of course, the cover for Warlock 2, The Armageddon. All right, so our director was a pretty
shit.
Armageddon.
What was that movie called?
Prolific
That
guy.
I said we watched. What was it called?
full eclipse.
Full Eclipse.
Yeah, there's other ones he's got too. Consequence, Last Run, Jill Rips, Contaminated Men, Shoot Me. He directed Blast.
Contaminated Men. What is that about?
Blast was amazing.
These all sound great.
Blast was great with Rutger Hauer.
Rucker Howard
full-
jumping
full-
into a pool with no legs.
Full Eclipse. We watched it in 2017.
Oh well, okay, that was
Wow.
It was our
years ago.
23rd episode.
Wow, that's
No
insane.
wonder I don't remember it.
Our
Okay.
23rd.
Holy shit.
7 years ago.
man.
I'm gonna listen to it.
We do have a couple of writers for this. We have
Aaron,
Kevin.
you're on this show. I'm listening to it right now.
what? What are you talking about?
You were on the Full
Loved
Eclipse
it
at
so
first.
He was on that
It
one.
was 7
Like the
years
20
ago.
7 years ago.
I remember it like that.
I was only 5. This guy Kevin, he wrote Perversions of Science, Raging Angels, Suspicious Agenda,
Ooh.
Philadelphia
vague.
Experiment 2,
There's a sequel to the
and
Philadelphia.
Howling, Howling 6. The Philadelphia
Howling
Experiment
6?
2.
What?
What?
They tried it again.
Let's watch that.
All
It's
right,
gonna be
the sole
awful.
survivor of a wartime experiment is catapulted 41 years into the future and must race to save the world as we know it. It's
Oh,
now 10 years
wow.
later in 1993.
It's gonna be awful. Absolutely unwatchable.
You want to watch it?
We totally gotta
Yes.
watch that.
Yeah, let's go watch
Why
it.
not?
Yes. Put it
I
on
don't
the
recognize
wheel.
any of these people, but it's gonna be awesome.
Put it on the wheel.
It was shot in 34 days. It's Philadelphia Experiment 2. What? Okay, we gotta watch that. And we also have a writer, Sam Bernard, who wrote The Dark Tide, The Granny, which we covered a long time ago.
Oh, the granny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't we have to do that
We
twice?
did. No.
Yeah.
That was grandmother's house. The granny we
Okay.
only did once.
Oh,
The
okay.
granny's the one where they go to the house. That's the farmhouse one, right?
That's grandmother's house.
God, there's so many grandmother movies.
There's two grandmother movies.
Oh, there's more than that.
This guy also wrote a movie called Blood Surf from 2000. It's about Australian surfers and a killer crocodile.
Ooh, that sounds
Aaron, did you have a
fun.
stroke? You okay?
I had a hiccups. Crocodile. And finally, we have David Twoohey, who's known for writing The Fugitive, Pitch Black, G.I. Jane, Riddick,
Chronicles of
Below,
Riddick.
Arrival to... Wait, the guy who wrote fucking The Fugitive wrote G.I. Jane and Riddick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Below,
Pitch Black.
Imposter?
Right below is
Pitch
really
Black?
good.
Yeah,
Arrival
Below's
2?
fantastic.
I had no idea. Waterworld?
Classic.
Terminal Velocity? The
Classic, so
Fugitive?
much
Why is there
water.
not a Waterworld
Wow.
TV show? Come on.
He wrote Warlock,
Seriously, we'll make it in a
Critters
pool,
2,
AJ. Let's go do it.
Critters
We
2.
would make it up. It'd be great. You
And
want my
finally-
oil?
Our last writer is Mark McKenzie. I'm sorry, composer is Mark McKenzie. So the music in this sounded kind of familiar, but
Sounds like Hellraiser 3.
yeah, it really does. He did music for Max and Me, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Prancer, A Christmas Tale, Son of Darkness, To Die For 2, Death in Grenada, Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde, or Miss Hyde.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Cool.
there's that. I think that's pretty much for this movie all I have to talk about at this point.
Big fan.
Killed Kenny, you bastards. All right.
All right.
good.
Let's move on then and talk about the movie. So here we go.
Go back some.
Damn, I forgot we're
Oh.
not supposed to play
Quick.
that anymore.
I was
forgot.
singing.
Remember, we get
I was
copyright.
gonna say, I thought we weren't
I
doing
forgot.
that.
All right, it got ahead of
Damn
me.
it.
AJ,
It's AJ's turn.
it's AJ's turn to what?
$2 a month.
Oh no, we're just not going to do it. No,
Okay.
we're gonna move on. AJ,
I mean, even if people do sign
Patreon,
up, you're not
join
going to
us.
add them to the things anyway. So
that's not true. I
fine.
add them all the time. I add them like this, Aaron. They're always added. I added people once. I'll do it again. AJ, what did you think of Warlock, the Armageddon? What?
I did it once. We've been doing this for how many years? 8 years?
Yeah, just a few. We're just getting started.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AJ.
Warlock, the Armageddon. Obviously, I'm a big fan of this movie. I wanted to watch it. Lindsay brought it up and was hyping it, and I ended up watching it a couple weeks ago. I was like, man, this is amazing. It has everything I want in my movies with Warlocks. Magic, for one. We actually see stuff. A green screen used pretty effectively considering the time this was made.
Dude,
Absurd
when he JPEG'd through
storyline.
that forest, that was
Oh,
bad.
Right?
God.
It drunk
was
his
like-
JPEG everywhere.
There was a lot of care and fun when they made this movie.
It was like, woo.
You don't
when
let anybody
he
use
turns that
JPEGs
guy,
anymore.
he turns that guy into a Picasso like statue.
God damn, that is so cool.
Yeah, that
fucking
was crazy.
I love this movie, and I am very excited to talk about it.
Aaron?
Yeah, so I had pretty low expectations for this one, but I actually think I like the first one better just because he's slightly less evil. Like, he's got some charisma in it, and you're almost rooting for him sometimes because he's a bad guy, but he's likable
Likeable?
as a bad guy. Where this one, he's more just straight up evil, but he's great at it. And the special effects, as AJ said, are just off the chains. There's so much great practicals, really creative stuff. I enjoyed the hell out of this. This was a lot of fun. And Kenny dies.
Oh.
Because fucking Kenny. Worthless bastard.
Rebecca.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought like some of the tonal shifts were a little harsh. Like sometimes it seemed
play
really
baseball?
funny and silly.
Play baseball.
And then like yeah, there's that baseball's flying around, but like the woman is reverse crucified in
Yes.
front of
Yes.
the whole town.
So
So
dark.
it's like, is
is
this
dark as
really a
shit,
silly moment right now? But it was a fun movie. And the special effects were just fantastic for the time. I love the part where he like rips the hair off
Yep.
of that one lady. Like it's
favorite.
just so fast.
Looks so good too.
And so like it does. And then the elevator scene too, where like they go from standing there to just explosion.
So cool.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Lindsay.
Yeah, I love this movie. This was another one of those movies that I just watched over and over and over again as a teenager. I probably watched this one way more than I did the first one.
Explains a lot.
Shut up.
You guys want to play baseball?
But this movie truly does have everything. I mean, it pays attention to the details. And what I love about Anthony Hitchcock is he does add a lot of humor into his movies. But he really cares about what he's doing, and he wants to put forth like a fun movie, you know, and I'll get into it later, but there's so many little details that a movie like this, you wouldn't expect them to give a shit about, you know? And so that's what I appreciated on top of all the crazy zany stuff. And it's got some great kills, and Julian Sands is amazing. It's got a lot of familiar character actors in it, all the old dudes and stuff. And so, you know, every time one pops up, I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
And the practical
The guy
effects,
from the thing.
the practical effects are amazing. And no, it's a good time. It's a great movie.
I think the execution on this movie was top 10 great. This is fucking awesome. But I have a lot of things I didn't think. I mean, this movie is very much, to me, it is Hellraiser 3 because it's like ridiculous. Like he acts like Julian Sands is Pinhead in this movie and does these weird things like he does in Hellraiser 3.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of the music and feel of that movie mixed with some Evil Dead style editing at times. And then for whatever reason, half of the movie is Star Wars. And there's even like Star Wars music and stuff.
You can hear the horns and stuff, yeah.
And I think the biggest problem I have, while I love Julian Sands, his character is, he's like an elf. He's like a Lord of the Rings elf, but he's acting like he's so evil and scary, but he's not scary at all.
Really?
I was not scared by Julian Sands once.
So
in
he's
this
like
movie.
Legolas, but like
Evil Legolas.
evil.
Yeah, evil. And like, that's not scary, right?
I don't know. It's
I
fun.
mean,
It's
yeah.
more like
I think
it's more
his character's fun.
I think it's more intimidating than scary.
Yeah.
Because
Just 'cause he's so not human.
He's very charismatic
It's
as
like
well.
that-
yeah.
He's charismatic.
He's very
but not as good as the
off-putting.
first one. The first one I thought he was more because he was more of this like man from an old time thrust into the future, and he's got that kind of traditional like
And they do that.
the world's so different. Where this one he's just like straight up, I'm here and I'm here to kill.
Well, they do a little bit of that at the beginning, the fish out of water stuff, because he asks the taxi guy, "Is this your carriage?"
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's
That was
there's
funny.
a couple things.
And he
Yeah.
takes Zach Galligan's clothes and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I think that the storyline starts out interesting and cool with it opens like in the past 100 years or a couple hundred years, I guess.
Almost 1,000.
Was it 1,000 years ago?
I don't know.
That makes,
It's-
actually, that
it's
makes
a
more
little
sense.
muddy.
It was something like
It's a
that.
little muddy.
Keeping count.
Well, they say it's every 600
I don't
years
remember.
that
It was either that or every millennium.
the
or
Every
something.
I thought it was every
millennia.
millennia.
up.
Yeah, every
Okay.
millennia.
So every 1,000 years? Is that what that is? So, but
Yeah.
there's a ritual going on, and that woman is tied down to like this rock, and she's pregnant, and this is some of the Evil Dead stuff I was talking about. Like,
The eyes and everything.
she has like these white eyes, and she sounds all
Dead by dawn.
pitch
Dead by
shifted
dawn.
down and creepy demon sounding.
Yeah.
And all that stuff was cool. I did start to lose interest. I was becoming frustrated right then and there because they would show me something interesting, and then I would sit for like 12 seconds while a name popped up on the screen and it froze. And it went on for so long.
It was cool that they made him look
Yeah.
like matte paintings though.
That was cool.
That was kind of cool. But yeah, it was like a cheap way to do the credits.
It drug
Yeah.
it on.
But
All
all
very
that,
70s ish.
And all that
Interesting.
stuff, I didn't remember if like this was a flat. I think I've been like ruined by witchcraft movies because a witchcraft movie would have shown that opening scene from every one of them shows the opening scene of the
From
first
the first
movie.
one, yeah.
I was like, is this the same thing? I don't remember, but it was cool. It was well done, and it showed some of that gore because that's what this movie has: pretty explicit gore that was
Yeah,
not
it
expected.
does.
And
It
that's
has a lot
great.
of crazy. I mean, I guess we'll jump into it, but some of the special effects on this are really surprisingly good.
Oh, good.
yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
lengths that they go, I was like, this is like a sequel to a
Who
movie
did
that
the
wasn't
special
really
effects?
great.
I didn't look it up.
I'm
I mean?
sorry, I didn't look either.
Yeah, well, that's
But they were amazing.
like that scene where he gets shot with a shotgun. I was paying very close attention to like how they shot that, the style of
Yeah,
the editing,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's where I got some of that Evil Dead feel with
Mm-hmm.
like the camera being on him as he falls down on the ground and stuff. But yeah, no, it was like tons of effort went into that stuff.
Tons of effort. It's insane. That's what I liked about it. Like every scene there was effort, especially in like the effects, and just like, and then stuff just keeps happening.
Aaron,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Aaron,
So much
that
typing
woman you
going
have
on.
locked in your
moves
basement just made a noise.
It's our dog.
Well,
Okay.
because I mean, let's kind of set it up a little more. We have is it 5 stones? There's 5 MacGuffins.
Yes.
Yeah.
In this, different stones, and the good people, the druids, present day druids, well, 1993 druids in California, have the 2 stones, and they're hiding there. And the warlock is rebirthed in New York in an amazing scene.
Yes, that
Yes.
scene is
Yes.
In an
Yes, it
amazing
is.
scene.
Well, because there's a lunar eclipse happening when he's birthed, but then there's a solar eclipse that
6
he's
days
racing
later.
against that he needs to get
Okay.
the
This is-
stones in that time.
That's the shit I'm talking about. It was like these
What?
video game rules where he comes out. And
But
it's
it
like,
keeps the movie going
It
forward.
does.
It does. And one thing always leads
Well, and-
to another thing.
He uses his mother's stomach skin
Yes.
Make the map.
as the map
That was
that is
crazy.
leading
Yeah.
him. That
And he
was
needs to
pretty
kill
awesome.
people to keep it active.
Yes,
with
and
blood.
this
Damn.
Yeah, he needs the blood.
That was cool.
You don't want your mom's skin to dry out.
no.
Skin map. Ugh.
That scene right there is a perfect example about how much detail was put into the script and the set design and everything, because when we're introduced to her, we don't really, it's just this like kind of gothy witchy chick, you know, getting ready for a night out.
Yeah.
But like the way her apartment's decorated, and like the name of her dog is Obelisk, and she talks about the stone being a family heirloom, and she's really interested in the eclipse because she's on the phone to her boyfriend, like, you're gonna be late for the eclipse, da 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 da. So it's not like this was like some random woman. She's like one of the descendants of
Yeah.
these like satanic helper people or whatever. That's how she got the stone. And so that part, because like all the mythology in this, even though it is super complicated, makes sense. It works. It works. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's cool world building. Mm-hmm. I guess one of the things that I struggled with was it's just that the villain and our protagonist are not together for 80% of the movie.
But that's
Yeah.
on the, and that's yes, because going back and forth, like
Oh, they're getting prepped.
it's 2 different movies because you have the more training and just waiting and preparing, and then you have him crossing the country, killing people for the stones along the way.
But you do the same with like a Harry Potter, Chris, and nobody complains about that.
Don't you say one goddamn word about Harry Potter. You better check yourself for 20 points from Gryffindor over there.
Shut up, Hagrid.
Yeah, I liked when the magic looked like Disney magic too. That was fun.
The Disney
Yeah,
sparkle.
that was very much the Disney sparkles.
I kept waiting for birds to come down and like tweet at the female character. I can't remember her name now.
Nancy?
Sam.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Samson. Yeah, no, I did. I thought it was cool. So you have that opening sequence which paints those druids and gives you some of that backstory. You know that like, oh, this is going to happen again. The stones have been separated in some ways. Somebody like it sets it up perfectly, and then you have that rebirthing scene. So they did waste no time with like introducing the
Yeah.
warlock into the world.
And it kills the dog. Like it's a very gross thing because she's like pulled down by some unseen force, and then she grows this giant pregnant belly and bursts
Poops-
like this
poops out
goo, and then her dog tries to get in it, and it eats the dog, and
Yeah.
then he just emerges
Then
from
it turns
this
into a
cocoon.
fully formed. Lindsay, what's behind you?
Yeah, I know. It looks
Which
like a
one?
creepy person who
Looks
stands there.
peeking. It looks like someone
Yeah, it's-
peeking in
It
the
was
This?
like yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yes.
wig.
Why does it have a head above it?
This
What's
Yeah.
right above it? Yeah.
VHS tapes.
Oh my
This?
god, it looks like a face.
It looks like a face,
I don't. It looks like
It's
there's
Michael
a creepy
Myers.
girl standing at. The,
and that's not even the door. The door's over there.
What if it moves? Did we tell you or not?
Don't. I want to be surprised.
Have you gone through any mirrors recently?
Maybe one or two.
So, the middle section of the movie has Julian Sands going from town to town fighting the rocks, stumbling upon some sort of scenario. The one is a runway model show in
Oh man,
That was
that was
great.
good.
Chicago.
Chicago.
The miniatures and
Dude, that roof set was the worst set I've ever seen in my life.
I loved it.
So for him to get
Amazing.
for him to get the stones, people have to give them to him.
Willingly.
Yeah, you
Well,
can't just take them.
Sort of.
Yes, they have to
Ish.
hand it like give possession over.
Like vampire rules.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you guys catch Charlize Theron for like a second?
No.
In the runway.
She was like the
No.
announcer for the runway thing.
Really?
It was in like one shot.
Oh, was that her?
No way,
unless
really?
it's,
Are you sure?
I don't know. I was really drunk. I don't know. I wasn't. I wasn't. I thought it was her. I could have been imagining Charlize Theron. It happens
Yeah, I don't-
occasionally.
I don't think the timeline.
The fashion designer lady was in Tombstone though. She plays Doc Holiday or what's his name's girlfriend.
Which Doc Holliday?
Yeah, Val Kilmer's girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
I thought that was the right name.
So, but
You got it.
doesn't look like that was Charlize.
it was definitely Charlize Theron. Just look up at the credits. I wouldn't
wishful
get this
thinking.
wrong. This is not something I would get wrong.
I'm gonna look.
Charlize Theron, top credit, top billing.
Top billing. We're looking.
While Julian Sands is out murdering people in the best ways, we're introduced to Kenny, I think it's
Kenny.
Kenny,
Penny.
He's Kenny.
who,
Kenny.
again,
You killed
You
Kenny.
killed Kenny.
is one of my problems with the movie.
Yeah.
He's like Luke Skywalker. He's
know.
feckless. He's annoying.
But he's worse.
he
He's
can't
worse.
close his
He's
mouth.
whiny.
Yeah.
She was not in that movie, Chris.
She definitely was.
Her
Check
first
again.
film was Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest.
First, yeah, second film, Warlock, Armageddon, top billing. I'm looking at it right now. I don't make that shit up.
Dude, that was 2 years later.
I'm telling you, she's in there as
I'm telling
uncredited.
you were drunk as shit. And you just wished Charlize Theron was in this movie.
But these two are like Romeo
don't
and
blame
Juliet.
you.
We get all the Romeo
Yes.
and Juliet stuff.
Yes.
They're star-crossed lovers because there were 4 like old druids, and one broke off because he's like, I don't want to have to sacrifice my daughter. So you guys go be fucking crazy.
he became a
Became a
reverend.
reverend. Like, there's so much to this movie. It's hard to like explain it. There's so much going on in
There's
this.
lots of layers.
There's lots of layers. Like even when we're introduced to Kenny,
Like an onion.
he makes sparks for some reason because he's up doing the spotlight in the high school auditorium.
He's just so terrible.
Well, it happened, I
So
think,
terrible.
because he was feeling emotion because his girlfriend
Yes.
was going to be
Yes.
kissed by. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you get that little clue that there's something more about him, and then you see that he's reading X-Men comics.
Yeah.
And he's being bullied and stuff. They're calling him a mutant freak and devil worshiper and all of that. And like, show us your
Yeah.
powers.
But
Show us your powers. that
He's a
kind of stuff.
nerd and a dork when he should have been like, he should have been like a punk guy or something.
The
It's
only
like
one
way
that can
they
save
paint
us
him.
is this piece of shit, Kenny.
But the whole town is super fucking religious because the entire
Yeah.
town
Yes.
goes to that church and is like, we need
They
to
all
tar and
follow
feather.
what the
Pretty
Exactly.
realistic to life,
And so
I'd say.
that's why they bully him is because they're like, you're the devil kid. You're the devil kid.
You're the devil's son. Or whatever
He
that was.
reads stuff. Get him.
Yeah, wasn't a fan of him. His dad is played by the actor who was like the chief from Lethal Weapon or something,
The
right?
captain.
Captain from Lethal
And he
Weapon.
wore a lot of grandpa sweaters.
He looks like a really nice guy. Like his facial expression's always like, I'm a nice guy.
So when he plays like not a bad guy, but when he turns into serious mode, it's hard to take him seriously.
Yeah, I never really took him serious.
Yeah.
I will admit. But
what about his fake hands though? His miniature hands. In that one scene where he's like manipulating a box or something, it's not real hands. It's like clay hands that are supposed to be his hands. It's really distracting.
I didn't notice this.
Yeah,
I did not notice.
Maybe I was drunk.
I'll have to go back and look.
I was super drunk by that point.
Was this when they were doing the compass thing?
I don't remember. I just remember thinking this looks really fake.
Really?
There's just
It was Charlize Theron in that box.
I mean, I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it yet. But I will research. Don't worry.
You're wrong.
I am not wrong.
Always.
There's a good portion of this movie is dedicated to Kenny learning that he is in fact a druid warrior. What is a druid? But first off,
Oh, this will be fun.
Pagans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
druids are like protectors of of the forest and earth and whatnot.
the druids are protectors of
Dude,
the
have you
forest.
played Baldur's Gate 3? Come on. We
I
all
did
know.
play Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, then you should know what a fucking druid is. What do you want from that?
Mute Rebecca.
But
So-
I really like the whole concept of these two kids that were like their wives, their moms are dead. They died in childbirth. These two star-crossed lovers, and they're like the chosen ones. And so they have to be killed. They have to die and be resurrected to become these warriors against the Warlock.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're lovers, right? Mm-hmm. And we see them have the love and all that stuff. And
Yes.
then, am I crazy? Or did we learn that they're actually brother and sister in this film?
No.
What?
Wait. No, I definitely heard that
No.
old man said,
Ew.
his father, my husband, or my
just
wife,
what he wants to
or
do.
your
No.
father, your wife,
No.
my father,
No
your mother,
incest.
your mother, my ex-wife, or something like that. That's
No.
what it was.
No, she says your dad, you and my dad were friends. That's what.
No, and then he's like, yeah, you're my...
This is
No.
getting interesting.
Are you
She-
serious?
No, I'm 100% serious because she's like, but how can that be? My mom died in childbirth, and he goes, so did Kenny's.
That's it. And it's the same
It's
mom.
two different women.
They both died of childbirth less like that. No,
That
it was
doesn't make them the
woman.
same. No,
It was
they show a picture of two different pregnant
identical women. They both look like Charlize Theron too. It's weird. No, I swear to God. Are you serious? Because I thought that's what that meant. They
No,
were
I'm-
brother and sister, and then like you
I'm
guys just showed me
gaslighting you,
incest,
Chris. I'm
and I didn't want to see
gaslighting
it.
you.
Are you?
No,
I
they
can
were
never
not.
tell
There
with
was
you
no
people.
incest.
They were
was there?
not brother and sister. No incest. No incest at all.
All right.
See, where's
Then-
Spiv when you need him? He would know.
Right? He would
I
know
will
about
take back.
incest.
But when
All
he
right,
said,
Chris, I got
you're
a definition of druids for you.
all right.
It's Celtic religion, dude. It's ancient stuff.
Druids wield nature-themed magic. Druids cast spells like clerics, but unlike them, do not have special powers against undead. And in some, they have special metal armor. Druids have the unique ability that allows them to change into various animal forms
Ooh.
and various other qualities that assist them in natural settings. There you
Yeah,
go.
because in this they talk to the trees, they commune with animals.
That makes sense, because in Baldur's Gate 3, one guy can turn into like a bear, and that's pretty badass.
Damn, I need to play that.
And there's bear sex in Baldur's Gate 3, which
Wait,
is really
what?
hot. Yeah.
Bear
You
sex?
can have sex
Oh, yeah,
with a
there's
bear?
Yeah, there's a scene where the guy turns into a bear, and
I'm out, guys.
fucks you.
I gotta go.
Dude, Chris just
That game's amazing.
it's
It's,
like
such a
Chris's
good game.
biggest fetish.
It's the best game.
And there's
I want to be
also
mauled by a grizzly.
there's also some similarities to the first one where because in the first one they do the hammer the nails into his footprint
Yeah.
to hurt him, and in this one the old guy is like trying some ancient spell to hurt him, and he doesn't think it's working, so he's just like screw it.
It's
Meanwhile,
a leaf,
like
right? He's like poking a leaf.
500 miles
Yeah.
away, Julian Sands is like
bleeding
squirting green goo everywhere in front of this poor gas station attendant that's like, oh my gosh.
Buddy, you need some
Amazing.
help. You're bleeding everywhere.
That was ridiculous. The guy's like trying to help him. I mean, that's what that is the tonal thing though. Like that was really funny.
It was.
Like there's times where it's like, okay, like this is where we're going with this comedic.
But even the first one had a lot of that kind of stuff too.
I guess I do understand it does feel out of place at times.
Yeah,
like, the shifting.
I think I just go back to the tone doesn't match the character for me.
yeah.
And I guess what he does is badass. Like, in theory, he's intimidating. He just doesn't look intimidating to me.
Yeah,
no,
that's
there's something
fair.
to be said for like somebody that's just kind of quiet and weird and but gives that creepy vibe. But I think that's something you pick up more in person than you do on film.
Well, also it's not like how he behaves; it's more what he can do.
True.
Yeah, Chris, think of what a bear could do to you.
He does some clever things too, like every day. The woman running the clothing show. What's that called?
A fashion show.
Fashion show.
Fashion show.
Show.
A woman running the
Check out our
fashion show.
clothing.
He tries to convince her that he can show her real magic, so they go to the roof, and
The what?
he starts, flying away with her.
That was cool.
And then as soon as he receives a stone, he just lets her fall to her death.
You want to go higher? Yes, higher.
But she doesn't just fall to the
No.
ground.
Dude, that's so
He
cool.
falls right into that clothing show.
Yeah.
Bam!
That's
why
how you
this
make
movie's
an
Fashion
entrance.
show, Chris.
That's why
Fashion
this-
show.
Yeah.
That's why this movie is awesome. I mean,
Right?
we're being really hard on it by saying these things, but this was a great fight.
Chris is being really hard.
Chris is being the rest of us are in love with this shit.
I'm
At
not
least
being that
It's
hard
like
on
it's too
Dude,
good. I fucking
guys,
hate this
guys,
thing.
come on. You got to get with me. Some of the storytelling in this movie is garbage.
Yeah, the story is kind of.
That's why I said the execution was flawless, but the story is kind of garbage. This is
I
my point.
love the story.
I think the
it all
premise
makes
is
sense.
good.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
but
all
it's also
works.
like
You're just
we
mad 'cause
just
Charlize
literally
Theron's not in
ripped
it.
off Star Wars for half of it.
There's a lot of derivative shit
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, but Star Wars is derivative of other stuff
Yeah,
too.
yeah, everything's
What was
derivative.
the whole reasoning for killing the
derivative.
kid with the shotgun?
So he
like, why
could be
did he-
reborn.
But
He
why?
has to be reborn.
He had to be reborn.
Because then he could have his powers.
Why?
Which
I
were
never heard of
completely-
that
That's
Because
the
it was
only
shocking
way.
and cool,
That's the
AJ.
only way
It's
it
not like a
works.
druid thing.
That's
Come on,
why-
what is-
Because yeah,
But up until the very
Well,
end.
that's
this
why
kind of
she
druid thing.
stabs herself or cuts herself.
It just seems kind of stupid.
so let's go through that. We didn't talk about the story after Julian Sands, but part of this kid's druid storyline and becoming the druid is he is with his girlfriend. All of a sudden, his dad shows up with a shotgun and shoots him to death.
Yeah.
So that he can be reborn as a druid. It was a very shocking scene,
is.
played up for tension and stuff.
Yeah.
It was really cool, really well done. Once he's reborn, he has the whole montage of trying to learn his druid skills.
And it's such a
Yes.
great scene when he wakes up and he's like immediately like, what the fuck? Freaking
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
in this weird basement.
I mean,
He's
if your
like, why
dad
did you
shoots you-
shoot me?
No, it was great.
There were some cool things that he could do, like talk to the trees and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of cool. I would have loved
Yeah,
to see
it's a
more of
whole
that
druid thing, right? Yeah.
play into the movie more, but yeah.
But I think that's my biggest problem with this film is just that he's inept until the very end of the film. Like Kenny
Yeah.
is not. He's never becomes a badass. Really,
Luke Skywalker.
They do
he
have
just
those
keeps
scenes
getting
where
his
he's,
ass
like,
kicked.
Yeah.
practicing. And
Luke
stuff.
Yeah.
Skywalker. He even yells like
But those were
Luke at one point.
comedic.
What's comedic?
The scenes of him like practicing in the field with the baseball and shit.
Like,
It's
'cause
like a Karate Kid moments, you know?
He's trying to blow up
Yeah.
remotely a bag, and then all of a sudden the tire pops on the car, or he's trying to light up a grill, and the tree behind it goes up in flames. And
Yeah, he's an incompetent
just
little
need to
shit.
work on your aim.
So, I think one of my favorite kills in the film was when he got the Carney guy into the mirror dimension and revealed
Yeah,
was
the
pretty
real
cool.
world.
that was
That
pretty bad.
cool.
And it's like looking into like a whole nother world. It was so
Yeah.
cool.
It was hell. He's like hell,
Yeah,
basically.
It's fucking awesome.
It was like nothing but trouble in
Did
there.
you
Like,
notice-
It looked like the
That's cool.
junkyard
The
stuff.
explorer guy was a real guy. Like it wasn't a mannequin.
Yes,
but it's
a
like
bunch of those people
holding-
were.
yes,
Yeah,
and that's
it was very
it's
off-putting.
it's a little nod to Waxwork. His
that what
movie
it is?
Waxwork, because
Okay.
that
I've never seen that.
the little person that played the psychic in that scene is like the doorman for the Waxworks in
Oh, that's
Waxwork.
okay.
There's a
Okay.
lot of
Man,
like
Waxworks was
he has
good.
like a bunch of actors that he likes to work with, because like Zach Galligan was in the original Waxwork.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay, I thought it was.
And there's a couple other things that have to do with Waxwork, and
That's cool.
Was that the boyfriend that was just
yeah,
at the door
and he's
for
like,
the...
ooh,
Okay.
black.
Black.
I would totally go to a waxworks. Has
That'd
anyone
be
ever
so
been to
cool.
one?
Madame Tussauds in Vegas kind of sucks.
Aren't most of them just really bad? Like they just look like shit.
It's fun to go to a bad waxwork.
I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
think that'd be
probably
more fun.
that was
like a
more of
really
thing
bad
in, like,
one.
the 1800s.
Like, is this
wasn't it?
Rodney Dangerfield or is this like what the hell am I looking at here? You're like George Bush, huh?
So
I've-
eventually, the
yeah.
movie ends up where Julian Sands and this team of druids all meet in a small town and have a battle.
Try that in a small town.
And I mean, it is pretty cool, like that whole battle sequence, and it throws you off right away because Kenny gets like impaled by a pipe.
Oh,
like, well, how is he gonna come through on this?
Well, because he comes in and he's like nice because he wounds or something the warlock, and the warlock says, "Nice try. Now it's my turn." And then the entire building that they're in just
so
explodes.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was so bad. He flies out the window.
Yeah,
Dude, that was badass.
Onto that
yes.
pipe.
Like immediately gets fucked up.
I love how you see the pipe stick in the ground first because you know exactly what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was no match at all for Julian Sands' character.
It wasn't until they teamed up that they could defeat
That scene
It
was
was the
amazing.
power of
man.
love.
With their powers combined.
That scene, like the amount of detail and like the
brotherly
green
and
screen
sisterly
stuff
love.
for that time was really good considering.
There was a lot
The
of
walking
work.
down
Yeah.
the stairs that weren't
yeah, that was pretty
there.
impressive.
All that compositive stuff. Like,
There's a lot of work.
I go back to that JPEG in the forest. They literally JPEG.
That was
Julian
amazing.
Sands and just threw. He shrunk a little bit as he went on to the right side of the screen.
Yeah, but they did that in the last one too, where he's flying. Remember
Oh yeah,
that?
they JPEG'd him into the barn or whatever.
That was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. You
Pretty
know what
good.
is bothering me about this whole movie is that Spiv said he'd be a little late, and now it's 9:30. You're telling me he has people over still
He's not
at
showing up,
9:30?
man. He's
On a-
not showing up.
He's
on
not
a
coming.
frickin' Wednesday.
We've been
You're really
stood
worried
up.
about this, aren't you?
Well, I like having Spiv on the show. I value
Me
his
too.
opinions. I don't
Yeah, I
simp
miss
for him
him.
like you do, but
I
I, do
don't
value.
simp for him either. Where does this whole simp thing coming from?
I don't know. People were spamming it in the comments earlier.
Nobody was spamming that. You were saying
I saw it a
that.
lot. I saw it a lot.
Spamming it.
You can't gaslight me.
Look,
And-
I can't.
And yes, I will say that they don't have a lot of humor with the Warlock character, but he does have
Yeah.
a couple good fucking lines. He has a couple good funny lines. Like the whole scene where he picks up the hooker and she's like freaking
So
out
annoying.
because he's not impressed by how hot or sexy she is, and so she's like, "Oh, I must look a mess," and she can't see her hair, and she's like, "It looks awful, doesn't it?" So she rips the hair off, like we talked about, and says, "Here, look at it," you know. And then when he goes into the art gallery and he makes the secretary's like yelling at him because he's just going straight into the guy's office, and he makes her mouth disappear.
That was cool.
That was a very cool effect. And when the guy
That was cool.
asks where the secretary is, he goes, "Oh, she's looking for a new opening." So I mean, there's a lot of little stupid, funny
Yeah.
lines in there like that, but they don't highlight them as well as they did in the first one.
So, what happens at the very end? This
A lot of
magic,
stuff.
this magic battle.
It's a wizard duel.
He's a
It's
magic man.
he's a wizard, and well, he's a warlock, I guess, not a
Yeah.
wizard. Wizards good, warlocks are bad. Is that what the problem?
It's just different
I think
worlds.
so.
I don't know. I feel like
Different
a warlock's
type of
just
wizard?
yeah. A warlock's
Or
like a-
Warlock is a male witch.
yeah, it's more fantasy.
what is isn't a
inspired.
witch just a female wizard?
No.
No,
No, it's a female warlock.
yeah.
What's
A
a
wizard's
female?
a wizard.
A witch and a warlock are
I
the
can't
opposites.
do any of this shit. I don't
But
know. I'm not
don't
woke enough for
witches
this
normally
wizard warlock
don't
shit,
have,
I guess.
like-
I don't know.
The same kind of magic. Like they use potions and they use other things. They're not like
All right, ChatGPT.
wizards, like Gandalf kind of wizards.
What is the
Right.
difference between a
And wizards
wizard?
usually have a wand.
Is Charlize Theron a
Staff.
wizard?
Yeah.
It all depends
Or a
on the
warlock.
world you're building. It just
True.
depends.
Very
like,
true.
Like, I mean, look at the
What's your mythology?
yeah. I mean, look at witchcraft. All you need is a stick and some dirt, and you're
Oh,
got
this
a
is the
warlock.
dork
Closet
shit.
rod, even. Pff.
Yeah.
All
Or
right.
you just say that you have those powers.
Wiz-
and you-
I am a wizard.
So wizards gain their power through study, spells, books, scrolls, and sources of knowledge. Warlocks gain power through an agreement with a supernatural entity like a demon, fae, or ancient.
Dude, that's badass.
Their
There
magic
we
is granted as
go.
part of a deal, and he was dealing with
The
a
devil.
supernatural devil
He was.
being.
Yes.
Was it the devil?
Yes.
The devil.
Yeah.
He
Satan.
did no studying. Mm-hmm. He is the son of Satan.
Wizards
Oh,
are
cool.
often portrayed as scholars or advisors, while warlocks are often seen as more sinister and morally ambiguous.
Yep.
Wizards
There's
can be
no
of any
moral
alignment, good,
ambiguity
evil,
to
or
him, though.
neutral. Warlocks are depicted as darker or morally gray characters.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it makes sense now.
You know what? Yeah.
Thanks for Googling that and telling us what we already knew, Chris. Thanks. That's great.
Well, I was just reaffirming everything.
Yeah.
Did you like that when he went through the tree at the end? That's pretty sweet. His face.
That was cool.
It was like a T2 moment.
Yeah.
What did
I
you
know,
think
right?
of like the hellhole thing?
That was cool.
It was pretty cool.
I liked
thought-
how they did
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
it wasn't just like a dude in like a rubber suit or some.
Yeah.
It's like it was a mix of
looks-
practical and
Yeah.
digital effects.
Right?
It felt, non-human or anything. It just felt, I don't know.
And they set up the stakes pretty well. Like both of the characters were down, and they had to combine their powers to overcome the Warlock. There was a blade, an ancient blade of the Druid Masters that could been sealed with the blood of this Jesus or something, and you die if you and it hurts you a lot. And it was evil, and it was good though. They said it all. Like I liked when Julian Sands picked it up, and he's like, "Oh yes." The blade of the alabaster. One touch of this and you'll die 1,000 deaths. I was like, oh, thanks. Thanks for letting me know the stakes here.
It was made out of the pieces of the
helps.
Holy Grail.
It certainly
he said.
helps.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at that, and it's not, I'm being a little harsh because that did
chose
come up
poorly.
earlier in the movie when one of the characters took it because he thought he could take on Julian Sands.
Cool.
And then,
He was so loud, too, in the elevator.
Yeah.
He's
with
like,
his marble thing,
And took forever.
the guy from The Thing, I was like, you die and
Yeah.
everything because you suck.
yeah.
Um,
I like when everything's rattling, when the stones are rattling in his pocket. It was nice.
But there's
Yeah, like
another silly part of this is like he gets the muscle car because he's driving a muscle car at the end. And then he just runs over a rabbit for no reason, and he's like,
that's the
the
darkness.
Wild West.
The Wild West. That's funny.
It's pretty fucking dark. Yeah.
the movie does set up a sequel because while they've defeated Julian and he's sent back below to hell or whatever, they're picking up the stones and a skeletal hand reaches out through the sand and grabs one of the stones. And then it cues the
Takes it.
fucking credits. And you're like, oh my God.
And this was released the same year as Jason Goes to Hell.
oh,
So-
shit.
Oh,
It's
really?
the exact
Really?
same thing.
Exact same year. So it's like
That's
who
interesting.
ripped off who, or was it just parallel thinking?
This is a much better film.
I
yeah.
don't know about that. Let's not get crazy.
Oh, Jason movies are.
I like the Jason movies.
Really?
Yeah, they're fun.
They're fun.
They're okay.
Okay. Well,
You certainly could
Anything
do
else?
worse, that's for sure.
Yeah.
are we excited for Warlock 3?
No, because it's not Julian Sands.
That's
Who
a
is it?
shame.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
Better
Counting
things?
his money?
Piper.
The
He's in the
Piper.
Piper.
Yeah, we gotta
so who
see the
is it?
Piper.
I don't know.
Yeah, who is it?
Do you know who it is?
It's probably like fucking, what's that, Corey Feldman or Edward Furlong or some shit.
Oh,
like
God.
that. Warlock 3. The end of
Is it Treat
Innocence.
Williams?
And it's played by Bruce Payne. You
Bruce
know Bruce
Payne.
Payne as the bad guy from Passenger 57.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
way.
that might
That's
be good.
cool.
Might be good. He's pretty good in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
Yeah, no. Warlock 3: The End of Innocence came out.
We have to watch it.
1999.
Yeah.
There's Ashley Lawrence, speaking of Hellraiser,
Oh, shit.
in it as well. So
The
it might
end
be
of
not that bad.
Innocence.
That's cool.
So we'll see when we get around to that. If it had Julian Sands, I'd say we need to watch it like almost immediately. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still watch it. That's cool.
Watching this though, it did. I was like, man, I could totally see the witchcraft and warlock similarities in the first movie or two.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, the choices made after the first one are so clear. Like witchcraft went way downhill,
Way
while
downhill.
warlock went like way more effort. It feels like. Like I think this was definitely better than the first one. I'm not.
Well,
Me
it
too.
had a
Me too.
budget.
It had a decent budget.
Clearly.
It has some great
They used it
transitions
well.
too. Some
Yeah.
really cool transitions and clever ones. Like they kept showing that bad shot of the moon.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
it pans down and it shows that it's the set of this Romeo
was
and
good.
Juliet play they're doing. And then when they
was pretty
finally
cool.
do it at the end before the battle, it transfers to that lady sticking that old lock in the key. Just stupid shit like that. There's a lot of attention to detail in this.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Aaron, since Biv did come on the show, can you tell us, did he like it or no?
He said he liked it. He didn't like it as much as the first one, but he said the special effects were really, really cool.
That's wild.
I think he had actually a pretty similar take to me on that. He liked it, but it wasn't his favorite.
All right. Well, AJ, would you recommend Warlock 2, The Armageddon?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I understand why people like the first one, but this had so much more going on with the special effects and magic, and I just felt it was way more creative on that level, and that's why I really like it. So yeah, I highly recommend this one.
Aaron.
Yeah, I recommend it too. I really enjoyed it. I do think personally I like the one's story better, but this definitely has some killer effects, and it's just generally just fun.
Rebecca.
Yeah, I would too. There's never really a dull moment in this movie. Like there's not really a time to get bored by anything.
Lindsay.
Yes, go watch it. There's so much cool and fun and crazy stuff in this. The effects alone are worth watching this movie.
Yeah, it's a great. I love these early 90s special effects. Like I said, it really reminded me at times a lot of Hellraiser 3.
Yeah,
so,
I could see that.
especially with the gore and just the music and stuff. So
Just the general look of it in a lot of ways, yeah.
I enjoyed it
Yeah.
quite a bit. I was a little harsh on it, but I did really enjoy it. Spib says he didn't like it and he's not coming back on the show, so we're gonna get.
we're gonna replace him with
we're
someone
replacing him
else.
with Philip Cook
Yeah,
apparently.
Philip Cook.
Of the Spicer fame. But we'll see what happens there. But it's time to move on, play a game. So here we go.
Game time, baby.
Your theories are the worst kind. You try your best and sloppy, and your conclusions are highly plausible. Shall we?
Runes.
Okay.
Remember when we watched that one movie like 7
All
years
right,
ago?
we're
About
gonna dive
runes?
into runes a little bit.
7 years ago.
I really
Yeah,
think it was 7
I remember that.
Oh, there's a movie called Runestones. Did we watch that?
Maybe. I don't remember. I'll look it up.
Who knows?
All right, which Viking god is thought to have introduced runes? Was it Odin, Thor, Loki, or Freya?
Odin.
Yeah, Odin for
Freya.
sure.
It was Odin.
Nice.
How long did he have to hang in a tree to be able to read runes?
Oh, at least 6 months.
12 minutes.
10,000 years.
And Rebecca, we watched the movie The Runestone 5 years ago.
Okay.
Did we seriously?
Yeah.
Jesus.
7,000 years.
He had to hang there for 9 days.
Not that bad.
And then
9 days.
he was able to read runes.
Is it just
Yeah.
because what?
Well, and some of them show him hanging like this,
Yeah.
and some of them show him hanging like this. I think it'd be different hanging upside down versus right side up. But
Yeah.
how many letters are in the rune alphabet?
Oh, God.
12.
19.
20.
60.
There are 24.
Oh.
There they are. How many rune stones can be found in Sweden?
336.
7.
1,000.
100.
There are about 3,000.
Jeez.
They're finding more all the time.
That's so cool.
That is really
Yeah.
cool.
Imagine just stumbling upon one of them, walking through Sweden.
That's so cool.
Most rune stones are carved out of what type of rock? Granite, sandstone, limestone, or marble?
Sandstone.
I think it's sandstone.
Well, Rebecca, you
Yeah.
can't really take them for granted. You know what I mean?
Stones.
It is granite.
Oh, wow.
I'll be here all night, ladies and gentlemen. I live here. I live here.
Which of these is the rune for wealth and cattle?
You're rude.
Oh, Fayu!
Fayu.
I said Fayu.
It is Fayu. My mistake. And which of these symbols here is Othala?
The one on the left?
The one on the
Middle.
left square.
The middle.
And the pokey sides.
The poke-
Tic-tac-toe.
It is
Oh.
Told
this
you.
one.
Swear with the pokey.
It's the symbol for family and home. There you go.
That's pretty cool.
Now you know something about runes.
Nice. Good job. Good game.
I don't even know what runes really are.
No?
Like, what's the deal with runes?
It was their
Letters, yeah.
writing
Ancient
system.
writing, yeah.
Why'd they put them on these big ass fucking stones?
Yeah.
Because they didn't have
they
tablets
would-
and
so they
computers.
They did it
Runes?
for protection or to bless an area or
It was also like a status symbol. Like if you could afford to pay to have a runestone made, it meant that you were hot shit.
Damn.
I bet Spiv's got lots of
everybody
runestones
should
in his
be-
yard.
Yeah, couch is a rune.
But they would also use them for as simple as property lines. Like
Oh, can I do that now?
Property ends here.
just put up
and
a
mine
giant
ends-
I'm just going to put up
runestone.
runes and be like, fuck you, Steve. This
Yeah.
is my
Well,
yard.
hey, evidently, runestones can contain Michael Myers, according to.
I gotta be
Was
careful.
that the sixth one?
Yeah.
Fifth or sixth one?
Something like
I don't know how you guys have the patience to
Fourth
watch
one?
all those.
Fourth one?
I can't remember which one it was. It's the Curse of Michael Myers, whichever one that is.
All right. Well, we learned a lot about runes and basically a lot about ourselves, honestly, is what
That we don't
learned.
know anything
We-
about
that we
runes.
do not know the first damn
Apparently
thing about
not.
runes.
Yep.
But that's all great because all those people who made those are dead. And so it doesn't really matter anymore, right?
True.
That's the spirit, guys. Time to move on.
What do we even say to that?
I don't know. Time to move on and do some listener feedback. Here we go.
Recent listener feedback, sir.
Make it so, number one.
Emails. You tiny little emails. You precious little emails. Where are you? All right, well, we got a lot of listener feedback last week, so I don't know what the hell happened, but here we go. Matthew J. Pfeiffer IV says, I'm glad y'all had fun with this. I saw it for the first, and this is, of course, responding to Rock and Roll Nightmare, is what we watched last week, not last year. I'm glad y'all had fun with this. I saw it for the first time when I was 10 on a family road trip to Niagara Falls at Motel 6 on Canadian cable.
Nice.
Okay. It stuck with me for a long time and has been a favorite I return to every few years. It's so ridiculous and something I've enjoyed showing others. It was one of the first bad movies I made my wife watch as part of why she only agrees to watch 1 or 2 a year. Also, this episode and Chris's flip-flopping nature nearly gave me a terrible asthma attack from laughing. Keep it up, y'all. Happy little smiley face thing, followed by a period.
I disagree with myself. God, Chris, you were
Yeah,
so
internal
funny last
This
week.
was crap and I loved it.
Look, I'm just open
I
to
was
ideas and other people's opinions.
You were open to different opinions from yourself, was the funny
Exactly.
part.
You're learning.
I feel like that means I'm
And changing and growing.
exactly. I change and grow, it physically and mentally.
And spiritually?
Yeah, why not?
Sexually?
I'm gonna get a runestone. Who knows what's gonna happen? I'm gonna switch things up. David Black says, kind of a niche movie for those that love that style of music. I agree with Matt that Chris's anti-heel turn during the episode was hilarious. Alternate title, Rock and Roll Night Hair, which is pretty good. Rainbird88X says, from what I remember, this had a banging soundtrack. I believe Rainbird88 is actually pseudo Spiv, his alternate YouTube account. Dylan, oh my God, you hear that? Puberty's finally struck, guys. Finally.
Congratulations, sir.
Dylan G51 says, I watched Triple Xmas the other night on Fossum. The acting from Chris is not half bad, and the guy playing Dark Side Santa was really solid, just throwing out some good vibes. Didn't
I still
know
haven't
mention of
seen
Lindsay as Mrs. Claus.
That's fine. I'm 100% okay with that.
Did I tell you I finally watched that movie?
Did you? Good. I'm glad you finally sat down and watched it.
How was it?
I finally watched that movie? Jinx says, walked so cabin woods in the woods could run. Awesome. Which is a line from Lindsay. She'll be remembered for she's doing his mommy.
That little bitch.
That little
Just
bitch.
so many great
walks so cabin in the
lines.
woods could run.
Yep.
Jason K says the protagonist makes no attempt to hide. He wants to be He-Man with a very similar costume in the climax.
He does
Very
have
true.
the pecs for it.
Dude, if I looked
He
like
does look
that,
like
I would be
He-Man.
He-Man. I would pretend to be He-Man all the time. I have to like pretend to be like Guy Fieri and stuff where I'm at right now. Like this is where the level I have to be. You know what I mean? Sean
There's nothing wrong with
Cavender
Flavor Town, Chris.
gave us timestamps. Good, thank you, Sean. That's nice of you. And Jinx also says, "Great. I don't remember. I think I monologued or something. Silence is golden was just a dorky way of teasing Chris." There you go. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
I like when you get on those keyboards and you clickety clack and you type something good. Everybody, what do we want to hear about with Spiv? What do we think of Spiv? What do we think of his hair?
His hair is an entity unto its own.
Yeah, I want to hear what the commenters, people out there, listen.
Yeah,
Post
right.
one comment about
Let's hear
Spiv's
that.
hair, and we'll evaluate that next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then we determine whether he cuts it or keeps it.
Is that the game
whatever.
for next week?
Can we all agree on that? Like, can we force
Cut
him
it or
to do
keep
that?
Yeah.
Cut it or keep it.
I mean, he's not going to, but yeah.
Nah, when you got money, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to listen. I can't wait. The first thing I do when I have money, AJ, is I just rub it in your face.
Very, very obvious that if you ever, you would.
How would you rub it in my face?
I don't
Chris?
know. I don't know, but I'll find a way.
Literally rub it in your face.
It'll be the
He would
best
literally
day
just
of my
show me
life.
his bank account.
Like, oh shit, I shared my bank account screen. Does that say I have 70?
It's just on a giant
Whoops.
TV when you walk into his
Shit,
apartment.
sorry.
Oh, sorry. I like to do my banking on the big screen.
Sorry about that.
Pretty funny.
Number
This is
goes
my-
up.
This couch spent $37,000 on it. That's right. It's got a Hemi in it or whatever. All right. That's it for listener feedback. That is not it for the show because we have one more thing to do, which is spin the wheel. Which
Oh,
Sean,
nice.
Sean didn't update. Did he update the wheel? Did he update the
Spin.
wheel?
Oh, I thought we were watching.
Oh yeah. Wait, we gotta watch Ghost Planet.
Or Pied Piper.
No, we gotta watch Ghost Planet.
Ghost
Yeah.
Planet.
Which is the Philip Cook movie.
Robots in disguise.
All right, let me share this. Hang on 1 second, guys.
Planet. He's a hero.
Share the screen.
Make it so, number one. Oh, man.
This is what it looks like. Very.
You just push the handle and take off to destinations unknown.
Okay, this looks pretty cool.
I think we just hit the jackpot.
The ships. All fantastic. New tech.
Uh-oh.
We gotta get out of here.
Dude.
Shit!
What?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Artifacts ever found, only to have to flee with our tail between our legs.
Out beyond the rim.
You're looking at one of the few people that's looked into the eye of a neutron star.
Oh.
All right, so I think this
This looks
character,
amazing.
This will be
Austin
fun.
might have was gonna play this guy.
Man,
Why did Austin turn this down?
I don't remember.
Austin turned this down.
I know it's like way better than anything he's ever done before. He's been in a lot of my stuff.
So funny.
Ghost Planet. It's available on Tubi.
Where can we watch
It's a Philip
this?
Cook
Oh.
movie, which
It's very exciting.
we're gonna like it. We loved all of
Yeah,
his
we're gonna have
movies
so
so
much
far.
fun.
He reached out, potentially gonna do an interview with him as well, so that might be included in next week's episode. We'll see.
That's
But
cool.
that's going to do it for this week's episode on Warlock, the Armageddon. If you like it, go to the iTunes, leave a review. That helps out the show. If you want to join the Patreon, it's patreon.com/badmovienightshow. It supports the show. It keeps it going. We've been doing this a long time. And so if you enjoyed the show at all for the past few years, consider joining the Patreon just to show your support.
Yeah.
And that's it, guys. We will catch you here next week when we watch Ghost Planet. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the Bad Movie Night Podcast.
Bad movie night.